Had a different video planned for today, but let's talk some running backs. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, today I had a different video planned for you guys, but that video is being pushed to tomorrow because Professor Clump, aka Jeremy Clump, or Jeremy Clump, aka Professor Clump, came out with a fantastic article on FinFanatic.com. I will link the article in the description below. Be sure to check it out. I'm not going to talk about the article in full, and I'm not going to talk about it. I want you to go read it, but I'm going to breeze past some points, get the gist of it, and tell you guys why it's actually a pretty good, smart article. You should really go read it. But before we jump into that, like usual, guys, got to shout out new Patreon, Spiffiness117. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. And I got a new member, Terry Nicholas. Thank you so much for joining the membership. Like I said, I had a different video planned for today. That video will be out tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we find out about the schedule. So that video, very excited. And I'll talk more about that tomorrow because I'm going dark on Twitter on Wednesday. So let's jump into this and let's talk about this article that Jeremy wrote. It's fantastic. So essentially what Jeremy wrote is a nice article talking about the Miami Dolphin running back situation. That's kind of what I titled this video, Miami Dolphins running back situation. And, we look at what the Dolphins did, right? In the offseason, Jones went back to the Green Bay Packers. The Dolphins they brought in Malcolm Brown, that big physical back, but not that he's not going to get you. He's not going to be your bell cow back. He's not going to be a Derrick Henry. He's not going to be a guy you're going to consistently give the ball to, right? So again, the Dolphins are like, all right, screw it. Well, there's Najee Harris, there's ETN, there's Javonte Williams. We'll draft a running back. Draft comes. We're sitting there at 18. We take Jalen Phillips, which again, I think is a very good, fantastic pick. If not for the concussions, a lot of people saying he'd be top 15, maybe even top 10 pick. Dolphins take him at 18 and then proceed to try to trade up ahead of the Steelers to get Najee. Doesn't happen. The Jaguars surprised a lot of people. They have James Robinson, who just had a 1,000-yard season on the Jaguars team, who has the #1 overall pick. So he did a lot there. All of a sudden, us Dolphin fans are sitting there and we're like, Javonte Williams. If you guys go back and watch my day 2 draft live stream, I was begging and pleading for Javonte Williams. First 2 picks go by, no Javonte Williams. Then the Denver Broncos trade up, they take Javonte Williams, another one that just breaks my heart. I thought they were decent at running back. Apparently not. Dolphins don't get a running back. Then they take a Dokes, 7th round. Again, I'll do more breakdown of these guys when I do my position, my camp battles video. But again, Dolphins come out of the draft with no running back. So they barely address it in free agency with, bringing in Malcolm Brown. They barely address it in the draft with taking Dokes. So there's a lot of Dolphin fans that are sitting here upset. They did it again. Last year we could have got J.K. Dobbins if we would have just traded in front of the Ravens. We didn't. And we're stuck again with Myles Gaskin, Ahmed, and, the lot that we have. We got about 4 or 5 running backs right now. So Professor Clump, Jeremy Clump, comes out with this article with some very, very, very good stats. So again, this isn't the full article. Be sure to go read the whole thing, but I'm going to read you little excerpts of his article because they're fantastic, right? He says, it seems Miami Dolphin fans are hungry for a running back, but they don't appreciate the one that they currently have. Myles Gaskin averaged 97.2 yards from scrimmage in 2020, though he only played in 10 games because of knee injury and COVID-19. And yes, yards from scrimmage aren't just rushing yards, but Gaskin adds value as a pass catcher, so the stat is a fair one to use. And he's 100% correct there. Because some of you guys who wanted ETN in the draft, ETN is... Yes, he's a good running back, but he's also a fantastic pass catcher. And you see a lot of these running backs nowadays who are accumulating all multi-purpose yards when it comes to from the line of scrimmage and all that stuff. He says, as a runner, Gaskins averaged 4.1 yards per carry on his 142 attempts, which was good enough for 584 yards. His touchdown numbers were low, but in all honesty, in defense to Gaskins, any of the running backs' touchdown numbers were low. When we got into the red zone, we just became anemic with trying to run the football in. It was disgusting, and that needs to change. But Gaskins did not start all 10 of those games. He actually only started in 8. It is listed as 7, but he was the starter in the Las Vegas game, which he had a very good game in. He had a very good game in that Las Vegas game, especially with that pass from Fitzpatrick that he took it the rest of the way. As a starter, Gaskin produced 498 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, 31 receptions for 326 yards, 2 scores, 103 all-purpose yards per game as a starter. That's pretty good. If you split that into an entire 16-game season, Gaskin would have been on pace for 996 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, 62 receptions, 652 receiving yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns. In total, as a starting running back, Gaskins would have had 1,648 all-purpose yards season with 10 touchdowns. That sounds pretty good to me. Now, again, am I saying Gaskins is Gaskins our starting running back? He's shown he can be our starting running back. No, he obviously didn't play the full season for a reason, and he had his injuries for that reason. That a lot of people are, apprehensive with him being the starter and want to add somebody. Look at the free agent market. Bring somebody in for the love of God, because you don't think Gaskins, Ahmed, Brown, and Laird, any of the other guys on our team, Dokes, can do it. This is the last part I'm going to talk about because this I thought was very interesting. A lot of people focus on the lack of broken tackles or lack of yards after contact, although, according to PFF, Gaskin had 31 missed tackles forced with a solid number to build off of. He also had 360 yards after contact. While that isn't a great number, it shows he can do it. And Jeremy's 100% correct he shows promise there, right? Now, again, I read your comments. I read all of your comments. And a lot of people are saying, if you think Gaskins is a starter, you're out of your mind, blah, 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 all the whatever names that they come up with. We'll see. But even Jeremy says in his article, the Dolphins see this. The Dolphins see the stats that Jeremy gave. The Dolphins see the film that Gaskins put. And maybe they like that combination of Gaskins, Ahmed, and Brown. Yes, again, they have Dokes and they have Patrick Laird. They have some other good running backs with potential on the team. But maybe they like that combination. Maybe they like the addition, right? Now, normally I tell you guys to comment below. Let's get into comment of the day. But I'm going to get into comment of the day right now because there was a comment. I went on Twitter and I asked you guys, hey, comment of the day. I'm making a video. Who wants to be part of comment of the day? And this comment comes from a Twitter name that it's just hilarious, but it coincides with what I'm about to say, right? This comment comes from Regis Philbin. And he says, do you think the addition of Skura and Eichenberg, along with the speedsters at wide receiver, Fuller, Waddle, and Wilson, will help Miami's run game more than just drafting a running back at 18 would have? And that's the other thing we need to think about, right? You have Will Fuller and you bring in Jalen Waddle, right? These guys are speedsters. You're not going to jam these guys at the line of scrimmage. You jam these guys at the line of scrimmage, they get around you, you're going to get burned for maybe even an instant touchdown. We don't know what the safety's doing. You can't press the box. We can't say we go into I formation, 3 wide receiver set, single back. We got, whoever you want to name as a fullback back there, Tua's under center. And, you can run an RPO out of this formation. Not saying that it's the same thing, but I did it in Madden. You can run the RPO out of an I formation 3 wide receiver set, right? Obviously, you're going to want Gaskins out there, but just for poops and giggles, try not to curse on here. You got Parker, you got Fuller, and you got Waddle in there, and then you got Gaskin in the backfield. You're not going to take a safety and put him in the box and only have a single high safety with 2 speedsters potentially on the same side of the field. And if you do, you're going to want your corners about 3 or 4 yards off of that receiver. Because if he's doing a go route or if he's doing an in route or an out route and you get under your feet and they hit plant that foot and hit the route, you're done for. They get around, they do the swim, they get around you, and there's only a single high safety, and he's worried about Devontae Parker on one-on-one. There goes Jalen Waddle, there goes Will Fuller, you're screwed. So you want to play off. So again, Regis Philbin, that's also another thing that maybe the Dolphins are thinking. We added these speedsters, we added these wide receivers, this type of offense to our repertoire. Maybe that was going to help the run game out. Maybe the defense has to, respect who, our players, respect who we have. And they're going to have to back it up a little bit, not crowd the line. That was the biggest thing that happened to the Dolphins. Once all our receivers got injured, Preston Williams went down, Jakeem Grant went down, Devontae Parker went down, even Gesicki went down. All of a sudden, they're like, who's he throwing it to? We're just going to crowd the line of scrimmage. And we're going to stop the run, and then we're just going to blitz. Did it in the Raiders game. Go watch my film breakdown. Then once Fitzpatrick comes in, they back off a little bit. They give Fitzpatrick that respect. Obviously, vet versus rookie, give him that respect. And you saw it because what ended up happening in that Raiders game, they gave the respect, not to the receivers, but to Fitz. Now they have to give that respect to the receivers. And what happened? Gaskins goes, does a little curl route, a little out route from his running back position. Fitzpatrick dumps the ball off to him. It's a 5-yard pass. Gaskins breaks 2 or 3 tackles and takes it up the sideline for about, a 60-something, 70-yard touchdown. And that's what you can expect. Maybe a little, delayed handoff. Delayed handoffs are a beautiful thing when you see them done correctly. And if you want to know what a delayed handoff is the quarterback drops back as if he's going to pass it. So you have the DBs, you have the linebackers, you have all these guys biting on the pass. So they're not going after the running back. They're kind of taking a step back because they see the quarterback stand upright. So he takes a snap, he stands up, and then he turns and he hands the ball to the running back. Delayed handoffs are a thing of beauty when they're done correctly because all of a sudden the defense is caught on their heels. They're backing up for the pass. Oh, they're giving it. And then the offensive line can run and just eat up people on their heels. It's a thing of beauty. These are the things you can expect with the wide receivers we have, with the type of play that is going to happen. We don't know. We got 2 friggin' OCs. They're going to put their heads together. They're going to call some great plays. So I'm very interested in what this, what the training camp's going to entail, what all this stuff is going to entail. Very, very, very interested. But be sure to comment below. What are your thoughts on our running back position? I'm going to delve more into this. I'm going to dive more deeper into this when I go into the camp battle situation, which is going to be, I'm starting it probably Friday. Comment below. What is your thoughts on our running back situation? I know I've already read comments where people don't like Gaskin in there. They don't think he's the number 1 guy. We need to add this, and that. And who would you add? I know I've heard no to Le'Veon Bell. I've heard no to Todd Gurley. Would you trade for, the Jaguars running back, being that they drafted ETN? Would you, I've seen scenarios. People say, hey, we'll send Grant and a 4th or something. Comment below, what do you guys think? But I already got to comment of the day with the fantastic name of Regis Philbin. Be sure to check out Jeremy's article. I literally gave you maybe about a teardrop of his whole article. It's a fantastic article. Go check it out. And while you're doing that, go check out Miami Sports Music. Fantastic site. All that great stuff over there. Podcast. Go check it out. And check out patchvibes.com. I talk about them all the time. I wear their merch. This isn't their merch. This is a Nintendo 64 shirt, which I just bought the other day. But I wear their merch. They got patches, pins, all that stuff. But other than that, I'm recording this on Sunday. It is Mother's Day. I hope you guys, if any mothers are watching this, how are you? And, if you haven't yet, call your mom. Tell her you love her. And hope you guys all had a happy Mother's Day. I spent it with the wife and the baby. Saw my mom. She saw her mom. It's fantastic. That's why you're getting, for the premiere, for the members and the patrons, you're seeing this on Mother's Day. And for the rest, you guys are seeing it Monday at 11. But other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about cap. We're going to be talking about strength of schedule. And then Wednesday is the schedules coming out. I'm so excited. But other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. Events up.